What up, humans? Kurumi here, and welcome to the Mobile Legends Bootcamp. In this video, we are going to talk about the mage hero, Lilia. Lilia has a good set of area of effect and blink skills. Our little wizard, Lilia, is a mage hero. I consider Lilia as a good mage for team fights, since her skills deal massive area of effect damage. Not only that, her strange creature friend, Gloom, deals a massive amount of magic damage, especially when Gloom is at max level. You may notice that a mysterious pair of shoes is following her. We will explain that later. Now, let me share some tips and tricks on how to use Lilia based on my experience. I will also teach you some combos and techniques on the latter part of this bootcamp. But before that, let me explain her skills one by one for further understanding. Lilia's passive, Angry Gloom, lets Lilia gain extra movement speed when she is near her strange creature friend, Gloom. Before we go on further, let's talk about Gloom. Gloom is a type of snores, which are strange creatures from some nether realm that were summoned by Lilia. Basically, Gloom is summoned when her first skill passes throughout her second skill. We will be explaining her first and second skill later when we get there. When Gloom is summoned, Lilia has her move speed increased within Gloom's radius. When Lilia gets out of Gloom's radius, Lilia will have her movement speed back to normal. Gloom can be upgraded by eating shadow energy. Gloom can be leveled up to 5 times. Here are the differences of Gloom's looks on each upgrade. For level 1. For level 2. For level 3. For level 4. For level 5.
We can be good friends, indeed.
So basically, her passive makes her movement speed increased when Gloom is around. Also, you can summon more than one Gloom in the battlefield.
Won't you?
We will explain that later on. Magic Shockwave lets Lilia release an attack wave in a specified direction, dealing certain amount of magic damage. Enemies on the path of the wave's travel will be hit, and also have their move speed reduced. The wave will be having Gloom hitch a ride on it. When the wave touches the shadow energy, her second skill, it will be devoured by Gloom and detonate the shadow energy, dealing area of effect magic damage to enemies nearby. Upon devouring the energy, this also makes Gloom summoned in battlefield. Gloom's duration on being in the battlefield can be seen on the circle below him. When the circle mark is gone, then it's time for Gloom to say bye-bye. Lilia's second skill, Shadow Energy, lets Lilia condense shadow energy in a designated area, dealing a certain amount of magic damage to nearby enemies. Enemies hit by this skill will have their move speed reduced. As mentioned earlier, Gloom devours shadow energy. When Gloom devours a shadow energy, he will detonate the energy, and deal a certain amount of magic damage to enemies nearby, meaning, the shadow energy can deal damage twice to enemies nearby. First is the initial drop of the shadow energy, and the second one is the detonation of the shadow energy by Gloom. The detonation damage is affected by Gloom's level. The higher Gloom's upgrade is, the higher the magic damage of the detonation will be. Here is a comparison of each upgrade's damage. For level 1, for level 2, for level 3, for level 4, and lastly, for level 5. Pretty powerful, right? Aside from that, this skill has already full charge at the start of the game. Now, I know you are thinking, what if two Glooms are in the battlefield? If two Glooms are beside each other, who will be eating the shadow energy between them? Will they both eat it and be stronger, or will one just prevail and stay on the battlefield? For that, you need to stay tuned and watch the tips and tricks section. Lilia's ultimate skill, Black Shoes, lets Lilia immediately returns to the position of the black shoes. As you noticed, there is a pair of shoes following Lilia. This indicates her position from 4 seconds ago, meaning, the black shoes is your indicator on where you were 4 seconds ago. Upon clicking, Lilia will be returned back to your position 4 seconds ago. Upon returning back, the stack of your shadow energy or your second skill will be replenished again to max stacks. You will also be regenerated with a percentage of your health depending on the skill level. Your movement speed is also increased for a few seconds. You might be asking what will happen when you recall and use your ultimate after? And you might also be asking what if the enemy Lilia is in a bush? Will you be able to see her black shoes walking towards her? Well then, you better stay tuned because we will explain the answers on the tips and tricks section. There are so many items that you can buy for Lilia. You can focus on items that grants magic power, magic penetration, and items that gives you cooldown reduction. For me, I choose to buy items that grants cooldown reduction in addition effects to Lilia. As for starting item, you can consider buying arcane boots. This grants additional magic penetration and movement speed. Magic penetration lets you pierce through the target's magic defense. Buying magic items, such as lightning truncheon, will help you deal more burst damage. This item gives you magic power, mana, and cooldown reduction. Its unique passive will deal magic damage to your target and to other enemies when you use a skill. This unique passive has a short cooldown. You might want to consider Calamity Reaper. This grants you magic power, mana regen, and cooldown reduction. Its unique passive will buff your next basic attack after using a skill. Your next basic attack will deal extra true damage equivalent to a percentage of your magic attack. This unique passive has a short cooldown. Your movement speed is also boosted after being granted with a buff. Another magic item to consider is Genius Wand. This item grants magic power and movement speed. Its unique attribute grants 15 magic penetration. Its unique passive reduces targets' magic defense when you deal damage to them. The reduced magic defense scales with your level. This effect lasts for 2 seconds. This effect stacks up to 3 times. An alternative for the Genius Wand is a Divine Glaive. This item grants magic power. Its unique effect grants a certain percentage of magic penetration on your skills. In addition, its unique passive grants extra magic penetration when your HP is above a certain amount. Another item to keep in your tab is Fleeting Time. This item grants you additional magic power and cooldown reduction. Its unique passive grants your ultimate skill cooldown to be instantly reduced by 35%. After an elimination or an assist. This is really good since Lilia can kill enemies easily, or assist teammates because of her area of effect skills, making her ultimate skills cooldown reduced instantly. Lastly, you can consider Blood Wings. This grants you magic power and health points. Its unique passive adds health points. For every points of magic power added to your hero, the additional health points can help you survive in team fights. The item build for Lilia really depends on the enemy's lineup, so make sure to read each item's description so you can adapt in-game. One of the best spells to be used on Lilia is Flicker. You can use it to escape danger, even death. I use Flicker a lot for mage heroes, since mage heroes must always keep their distance. You can also consider Sprint. This can really help you run from danger, or chase enemies. In my opinion, the best emblem set to be used is the Custom Mage Emblem set. Custom Mage Emblem could provide extra stats according to your needs as a magic damager. Set agility to its max level because it can give you additional movement speed. Higher movement speed means higher chance to chase enemies or escape death. Setting observation to max level will provide additional magic penetration on your skills. Higher magic penetration deals more magic damage to enemies. That means your skills will be more explosive. Get magic worship to deal more magic damage to the enemies. When dealing damage that is more than a certain percentage of target's max HP, for 3 times in 5 seconds, the target will receive a burning effect. This burning effect burns the target for 3 times. This effect has a cooldown of 12 seconds. Magic worship can easily be triggered by Lilia since her combo deals burst damage to the target. Set second skill to max level first. Prioritizing this makes the initial damage and detonated energy damage higher. That means your enemy will turn into bits in no time while you spam this skill. Prioritize first since second skill is what you need for explosive damage. Always upgrade her ultimate skill when available for upgrading. Lilia's passive literally just makes your movement speed faster inside Gloom's radius. This is actually helpful if you intend to chase enemies. It is advisable that if you are staying in your lane, always summon Gloom ahead and upgrade him to be prepared for enemies intending to engage. With Gloom beside you, your movement speed will be faster and Gloom's damage will be more powerful.
You know.
First blood.
Lilia's first skill is what you need to slow down enemies. With its slow cooldown, you can spam this with your second skill, making the enemy feel that they couldn't escape your wrath, hoping you just killed them at that moment and wishing they were never born. Lilia's second skill is what you need to deal massive explosions and slow down enemies. With the advantage to have 2 skills on level 1, you can actually devour your enemies in the first minion wave. They won't stand a chance even when they both try to engage.
Double kill.
Now, we are about to experiment on which of the 2 Glooms will prevail, if they are about to eat the same shadow energy. So in this scenario, we have a max level Gloom, and one that is level 1. Now, let's place a shadow energy in between the 2. But let's make it nearer to the level 1 Gloom, so he will eat it first. We will check if the level 1 Gloom has eaten it. Will the max level Gloom devour it too? So, let's go Glooms. As you can see, the max level Gloom prevailed on the spot. Also, you may notice that only 1 detonated damage was received by the enemy. That's because there was only 1 shadow energy, meaning only 1 shadow energy was devoured, making the explosion only once. But at least, the higher level Gloom's explosion damage is the one considered. Lilia's ultimate skill is your only mobile skill aside from flicker or sprint. With the ability to go back to where you were a few seconds ago is really a big thing. Just imagine that you can actually escape death with this skill. Not only that, it will replenish the charges of your shadow energy. This is actually good for team fights, since you need to be fully equipped with shadow energies.
You have slain an enemy.
Now, let's talk about the what-ifs. What if you use recall and use your ultimate skill 3.9 seconds after? Will you be able to cheat your health bar with this? Or the joke's on you? On this scenario, we will try and show you that. First, let's recall and regenerate a little bit. Now, let's use the ultimate skill.
Indeed.
As you can see, we were able to get back to our location, but we lost a part of the health we regenerated. We have an observation here. Let's take a look on another scenario first.
Connect us.
Here, we have our health really low, but upon using our ultimate skill, we gained more than 50% of health. If we check the skill description again, we should only be regenerating 15% of our max health. But I think what really happened here is we got back our health from 4 seconds ago, and was regenerated with an additional 15%. Now, let's go back to the recall scenario. Here, we have 50% health. Now, let's try to recall and use our ultimate.
We can be good friends.
Upon returning, you may notice that our health is now more than 50%. With this, we can really say that we get our health back from 4 seconds ago, and be regenerated with an additional percentage. That's just our theory. We don't know if it's a bug or the skill description might be wrong. But anyway, this is how her ultimate works at the moment we created this boot camp. Meaning, Your ultimate skill simply tells you no cheating by means of recall. How about the black shoes? Will the enemy see your black shoes when you are hiding in the bush, a few seconds before you enter the bush? So, we have Loca Girl as enemy Lilia. Let's have her go into the bush and check if her black shoes will be hidden right after she enters it. As you can see, the black shoes are still visible even if she went inside the bush. Meaning, your enemies can track you easily if you just hid yourself a few moments before. So when hiding in the bush, always take note of your tracks and make sure it's also hidden. In terms of combo for Lilia in team fights, we follow a little complicated combo for Lilia. So be sure not to blink or you will miss a thing. First, use your second skill to place a shadow energy near the target. This will slow down the target's movement. Then, use first skill directly to the shadow energy to summon Gloom. Now, again, use your second skill ahead or near the target, but make sure that it is still within Gloom's radius. Then, keep using your second skill. This will make Gloom devour those shadow energies, making lots of explosion to the target, but make sure to deal basic attacks in between spamming if you are using Calamity Reaper. This will help you deal true damage to the target. Then, use first skill whenever available. If ever you do not have shadow energies anymore, you have the option to use your ultimate to replenish shadow energies. On this scenario, I used it to replenish my shadow energies. Then, spam again those shadow energies while dealing basic attacks in between. Also use first skill whenever available. In terms of chasing enemies, you can follow the same combo. Use second skill first, then use first skill. Make sure to place shadow energies ahead of the enemy but still within Gloom's radius, because Gloom has a little delay on devouring those shadow energies. Additional tip, make sure to use your ultimate skill at the right timing, because a split second missing to use your ultimate could cause you your life. So make sure to be alert all the time on using it. Another tip, it is advisable to gank from behind the enemies when the enemies try to escape towards their base. You can use your ultimate skill to blink backwards, making you nearer the enemy, making your shadow energy replenished as well. The tips I mentioned are just some of the ways you can use Lilia. This video just guides you on how to use Lilia the Kurumi way. So, once again, this is Kurumi and that's how you use Lilia. Thanks for watching. Do not forget to like and share this video. Also subscribe to my channel for more contents by clicking on the subscribe button below. For our skin giveaway events, check out the community tab for the giveaway event post. Please, only trust bootcamp videos from our official accounts. See you on the next Mobile Legends bootcamp. Cheers.